Hi everyone, my name is Jack Weller. I'm an artist based in Sheffield. I've been a professional artist for just over 2 years now. I've been working in S1 Art Space Studios, which is a artist-run organisation that has been around for a good number of years. And I also work as an outreach officer for University of Sheffield. You might be able to notice I'm a little bit bunged up on this. Yeah, it's cold going around, but it could be much worse, so not too bad. I just thought I'd do a bit of an informal talk about my practice as an artist and how my studio practice when I was at S1 Art Space has sort of changed to now, where I have basically been working from home ever since the first ever lockdown restrictions got sort of put in place, and I've never really moved back. As of the time of making this video, I'm just about to go back, so it's been really good how I'm able to share information on how my studio's looked as a professional artist working from home. And now it's going to be a nice sort of bookend, sort of put this behind me in sort of a way, not necessarily in a bad way. I'd just like to firstly talk about my practice when I was working at my studio in S1 Art Space. All the way through, I'm going to be sort of sharing pictures and some images that you'll basically be able to see on the screen in front of me, so you don't have to see me all the time. But yeah, I'd be working in a very communal space with a lot of artists, all at different sort of stages in their artistic careers. As primarily a painter, I did have quite a large space. It was very good for sort of hosting not only little makeshift little shows where I'd invite my friends over, but it'd also be a great communal spot to sort of host get-togethers of just not even of the artistic sort. And sometimes would be very good. I'd be able to, sort of host a really nice get-together, and a lot of my ideas about what art was would come from there. I'm really interested in social mobility issues. I think I've been sort of a medium-based artist for a lot of my career. I've been very used to using paints, but really cheaply in Wilco's, and there was always that saying of, to become an expert at something, you've got to do 10,000 hours. But I thought, well, if I'm going to be spending 10,000 hours getting used to something, I don't want to be spending money on the best paints every single time. So I've got really used to using the cheapest materials, as that they were what was most accessible for me when I started becoming an artist. And I think after working with some really amazing commissions, one with Mercedes-Benz, one with the Vice Chancellor of Sheffield Hallam, to do one of the longest war mules in Sheffield, I think now as part of my time I've started to notice how much pressure there was to keep spending to be able to make artwork, that I'm starting to look at more social mobility issues in general. And I think as someone who's worked as well on projects such as the DS2 project with Studio Polpo in Tinsley, where we tried to reintegrate and bridge a divide between communities, I think I really do want to look forward with my practice and look at help people breaking down their own social, their own educational, or their own cultural barriers to try and give everybody a better life that they're entitled to. So as I've been working a lot with paint, I've been sort of looking at language and how we sort of accept things. So one example I like to talk about is contactless card payments becoming the symbol that sort of came out of that has become so socially accepted as maybe like a Coca-Cola sign, for example. And it's about how, well, my art practice is about sort of taking those playful sort of things, maybe not really using them for what they connotate, but maybe using them for their shape, and just put it in there and seeing at what people draw, how people draw their own opinions to that. And they might think, for example, if it was Coke, they might think, they might be sort of looking at how the the historical connotations of Coca-Cola, but for me, I would actually just be using it more or less for the shape and the sort of aesthetic appeal for it, and let people make their own mind up about what pushing all those things together sort of means. And now I've moved home, I've sort of managed to keep doing painting on a much smaller scale, working with a smaller canvas. I'm used to really large canvases or painting straight onto a site. Also, when I've been planning exhibitions, I was planning on a large installation piece for a recent exhibition, and it's been sort of how I can, when I was planning so much for that, how I can sort of use stuff I plan for that and maybe further it while I've been working from home. Overall, I think it's been very beneficial working from home. I'm so used to that community environment when I was at the studios, and I've been in that way since I was at uni. I think being put into my own space again, where it was literally just me to sort of work out what needed to be done, and not being able to talk to people without sending pictures. But even then, you know, stuff doesn't translate as well the first time you send it over the media, because it's always better to see it in person. Yeah, it's been really interesting working from home, and like I said, this sort of video, as you can probably tell with my not so amazing camera supply that I'm using here, that it's been a lot tighter getting hold of some of the access to some of the technology I was using at the studio, and some of the space and some of the amazing place to light. So it's been sort of a back to basics approach for me. I've been using literally anything I can get hold of again. It sort of returned me to my roots when I was starting out as a painter, and just sort of testing the bare minimal stuff to be able to paint. And I think every artist should go out and, you know, sort of strive to know that you don't have to spend a fortune on making art, and that if it's truly your passion, you can sort of pursue that as you will, and you should do. If you should, no one should be able to stop you. So I just think after a bit of a, you know, talk from me about my practice, I'd just like to finalise on what I'm sort of hoping to do in the future from now on as an artist. Definitely going to be working in the Sheffield region for a while longer. I think there's been a lot of issues whilst I've been working at Outreach. I've been able to look into and think about the best way to sort of solve that problem, not just as an artist, but also somebody who will help him to just better the entire region as best they can. So I'll leave you with that, and I hope you've enjoyed this talk about my studio practice, and it's informed and maybe helps you in some way. Thank you.